Alrighty, we are live. Hey everybody, I'm Rob the Builder. Can we build it? Yes, we can. Now, today. Well, first, Ozzy Osbourne's dead. Oh no! Oh no! He was my favourite singer. He was. Never mind. Now that I've gotten that out of my system, this morning we're working on the BF 109A. Now, it has occurred to me we're probably better served doing some assembly on the 109 before we get into any touch-ups. If I've gotten my geometry, yeah, look, hey Bassman, how you doing? Yeah, I did a Facebook post with Mr. Crowley because that was actually the track that got me into Aussie and ultimately into Sabbath. Introduced me to Randy Rhoads, whose attitude and technique on the guitar actually really heavily influences my bass work. Yeah, I digress. But yeah, anyway, we're going to do some assembly on the 109 because if I've gotten my angles correct, there may be no tidy ups. This is the bottom line. In the meantime, there will be other things to work on. Yeah, look, ultimately, of course, it happens to everyone. Yeah, Aussie. That's all I'm saying. Aussie. I think what'll be a bigger shock for most people is when Keith Richards dies. Not because of anything beyond the fact that everybody thinks he's, and quite rightly, that he's probably a major form of undead, or at least pickled his insides so well that, it's not going to happen. I remember seeing a picture of Keith Richards with these two hot chicks. The caption read, "This is Keith Richards with his daughters. When they die, he inherits everything." Which I thought was rather well done. Now we're going to bring this camera around. Oh, no, we're not. We're going to do this first. But yeah, it was, and I got to say, with Aussie, getting back to the man who has recently departed, the guitarists he worked with were always fantastic. Like, rather, if you start with Tony Iommi, I mean, let's sit seriously now. That says a whole lot all on its own. I've got a lot of respect for Tony Iommi because of the loss of fingers in his hand thing that he worked past, which is spectacular. And I use that as a thing for people when they say, "Oh, I can't because," I say, "Yeah, you reckon you got it hard, do you, mate? This is what he got past, and he's one of the greats in the field. You can do it." Whatever their issue is, it's a question of determination. But yeah, Tony Iommi, Randy, favorite guitarist, Randy Rhoads, what a ledge. And Jakey Lee, Zach Wilde, the list goes on. Now, getting back to our task at hand, good people. Now, they actually have us putting some photo etch in here, and the diagram's a bit etchy sketchy as far as in the cockpit, which we can actually attend to now, because we're going to need to get our wings into position. Actually, you know what? There's a few things we can do here quite easily. Now, first up, we'll assemble these wings so that in due course we can put the fuselage on the wings. That'll be our first port of call. Then I would suggest we could actually tidy up the paintwork on the engine. This would be no bad outcome, all of its own. We can grunge up our vent, put that together, grunge it up. Now, and then we can grunge this part up here too. Ah, hang on. I see, said the blind man. Anyway, we're going to need to have a bit of a look at some of these parts. What else was there? And on this side, yes, like I said, there's photo etch on the inside here. So what I'll do is I'm going to have a look at the parts. There's 4 things they identify as going in here. I'm a little unsure as to why they chose right now to make you do it, but whatever. So let's get our parts out and have a good solid look at what we're doing. How do you mean the football finished? I did not know there was football on. I saw this movie clip on YouTube. This is on the topic of football. It is related. I'm not just waffling here. I'm going somewhere with this. It had now the Elijah Wood. That's who it was. Playing this young either American or Canadian. Who won? I'm unaware of this sort of. Anyway, and of course he's calling. Or actually, wait. It manifests later in the scene that he's, of course, referring to what the British would call football as soccer. Anyway, as the scene progresses, before this manifests, whoops, glad I caught that. Well, my lap did actually, but we'll leave that discussion there. These are our wheels. They're done. Good. Yes. Excellent. All good to go. Now, or mostly good to go. All right. Now, there it is. That's a vent cover there in our photo etch as well. We also need to do the canopy. Now, first things first. Yeah, anyway, sorry, I got distracted by unpacking my little box of stuff here. Anyway, Elijah Wood's playing this either American or Canadian. He's calling it soccer. Anyway, that becomes apparent either earlier and before this scene appeared. It was only sort of snippet. But anyway, he's getting rumbled by this bully. And can't remember how it turns out offhand, but ultimately the bully sort of gives him a bit of a look of, yeah, you're all right, actually, mate, and takes him under his wing to some extent. And as they're walking off, he said, "Oh, and stop fucking calling it soccer." I thought that was really funny, purely by virtue of, what the people in the US and Canada call football is, of course, what, well, over here we call it straight out gridiron. So, yeah. Anyway, now we got to get these into here. Boom. Nice and easy. I'll let them settle a little bit, and then we're going to have a bit of a look at this photo etch caper. I believe that's the technical term I'm looking for, the photo etch caper. Now, sprue cutters. Of course. Wait, did I get... Oh, hey, scope this out. Give me a moment. Zoom. No. I've organized my desk. Well, a bit anyway. I can actually find shit. that's yep, that's this one here. I should give that a bit of a file, shouldn't I? It doesn't sit quite as nicely as I'd thought. Rubbing. Now, I would suggest that there's a little bit there that's not helping. We'll file the ends a little here. Those little smoothing out things do help after all. Now, let's see if it fits a bit more kindly now. Yes, it does. Okay. Oh, that's much, but yeah, okay. So clearly it was simply a matter of a bit of filing and away we go. Now, so that's that one. Get this one fitting nicely, and then we shall glue them in. Yes, we shall. Wait, you guys can't see what I'm doing. I'm down here. Well, I'm not, but there we go. Maybe a bit too far there. There we go. Now, so we got our, these are parts of the wheel well. Ultimately, that go into there. So the tops of the wheel well. Well, not the tops, but around the edges. Go around the outside. Stop. Done. All right, and there we go. There we are. Mama, don't cry. I just want to say hi. Oh, Bassman, I almost had a song for you, but I don't have all the lyrics. There was a Family Guy one. Long and the short, you get the nuts and bolts of what the remaining lyrics are about, because it's Brian and Stewie singing. I think it's red shirt, blue shirt is what they call themselves. They go around and play guitar. Stewie plays guitar and they sing. And the opening verse is when everybody's gone to sleep and you've said goodnight, moon, there's still plenty of noise coming from Mummy and Daddy's room. And finishes, I think the finishing lyric is Daddy rolls over and goes to sleep, Mummy drinks wine in the dark. I have to see if I get all the lyrics first. Where did I put the other one? Let's get this one in position first. Oh, there it is. Get that out of there. I ask you. Stay there. There you go. Boom. Maybe. Yep, boom. That easy. Marvellous. Now, next. Come on, there we go. Come on. And now, adding colour, an anonymous group of Latin American meatpacking glitterati. Aha! There's a obscure lyric. Can you name that song? Boom. Nice. All right. So, yep. Now that's obviously from this side. There they are. And boom. That's how it's going. Yeah, I can't quite do the. I should probably just let it settle. I should probably turn it over and be fine. But we'll leave that there for a little while. They're in position quite happily. I've got to say, it was a nice snug fit, and that's what you want. Nice and easy, nothing too hard. Now, let us have a bit of a goosey gander. I'll give you a moment. Something else I wouldn't mind checking. Yes, good. Now, we are looking for, not there. Now, photo etch. Yeah, that's what she said. That's it. Now, it goes over to there. All right. Now, the parts we are looking for. 10. Which are the numbers on the other side? No, they're on this side. Sad but true. I'm going to need my goggles to be able to have a good look at this. Which speaks volumes about how shitful my eyesight is. Anyway, 10. Let's try turning it the right way up. 10. There. All right. And that goes where on the. Okay, and 7 is 17. Oh, there's 7. Now it's quite a long piece. It goes by the looks. I see. I think All right. Now, finally, we're looking for 15. Once I've gotten all this sorted, I will, and 16. All right. Wow. Now, I'll need to, okay. What we have here, just so you can see what I'm umming and ahhing about, that. Now, it looks, I put photo etch 10 in position there, and then I try to get 7 through or onto that. So what I now need to do is get a good solid identifier on where exactly that is. And then there's these two to go in as well. Let's have a look. Really? Okay, so wow. That's wow. Oh yeah. Now let me just check length to make sure I'm not kidding myself, or am I not possibly wrong? And that would, oh yeah. Okay. So if that was the case, I'm just making, as you can imagine, some assessments here. That goes there. That goes there. Now, all right. Now, these are a few other little levers and controls that go in as to why the, oh, I can see why they didn't, why they're doing it this way. Okay, let me show you something. Getting back to here. These, certainly that, and they get right in. The reason they haven't got you to do that onto the side there is because it's more into the middle here, which frankly is a cunty little angle to have shit at, but what you going to do? Call the Ghostbusters? All right. Right. Okay. Let's do this. Now, this is also going to be, excuse me, potentially frustrating. So I'm already sort of like resigned myself to a bit of grumble, grumble, grumble behavior. So is that 10 there? Yes, it is. Right. Right. First things first. Now, I have shit organised at last. Does that have everything I need? No. What I would benefit from when it comes to this is a bit of white card. Oh, then well, actually, there's another way around this packadillo. Anyway, so I need that. I will need that one I was using before. I will at some stage probably need this. And one drawer. This. And now we're going to start off with a very small part. Actually, convenience. Now, this one, give me a moment, is, might as well use this card for this purpose too. Yep. That one. So, zoom out. Link. Wait a minute. Not just for the coffee, for something else. Now, this. And this. And one of these. Now, sorry. Next. Now, all right. All right, so that's cleanly out. That's a good start. Put the lid on this. Stretch my arm out. Let's have a gander. So that into there. Right. Use my hand as the backing. This needs to go in between, or at the back, where the seat and between the seat and the wall. And then we let that dry. We'll get back to the wings. I want a small spot. That is only a small piece. There we go. Right, it's in. Right, okay. At the moment, it's more covered by the glue than anything else, but once it dries, it'll all be good. You'll see it. There's a little, let's see if we can, disc. Right. Give me a moment. Focus. In there, that's it. Now we'll let that dry and we'll put the next bit in. This is going to be a little bit of a process. Now, meanwhile, we'll get all this out of the way and we'll get the other parts of the wings on. Oop, and zoom out. Now, ow, that shoulder again. Now, oh, there we go. What we do is, yes, our wings are here. Sprue cutters. Now, I think it's pretty obvious which means which, so, you know, that's going to make it all a bit of a non-issue on the, gee, which side is this? Front? All right. Now, bit of a file, of course. Deedly. There we are. Well, as far as the filing goes, we might want to clean these seams up, we'll see. In fact, I'll go a step further. We probably should clean those seams up because it'll make for a better fit overall. And it doesn't take long to do, so you know. Alrighty, now, so a bit of a scrape round, just around in there. Actually, most of that's not going to really affect much. I only need to do the relevant bits. Now, scalpel would be handy for this, although it does make some awful noises in the process. Prefer that one, I reckon. And this one maybe. Come here, you. Actually, a broad blade would be the GA. Do I have a fairly broad one? That's probably more rough. Come here. Come here. Why, you little? Gotcha. Right. All right. Just look at the gluing surfaces and clean them off. As you'd be surprised as to how much thicker an area can be because of paint. Excuse me a moment, they're having a bit of a crampy moment with my hand. Now some of this, of course, does need to be painted, so there we go, I think. Let's just see exactly how it goes on. Might even be a good idea. Hey kids. So that goes on. Oh yeah. So if we clean off all there, there. Yep. In fact, we'll go the other way. We'll go this way. Now, all right. All righty. So that's that attended to as far as cleaning up the seams and stuff there. Now pop this back into there. Once we glue these on, we shall have a look at how the photo etch is traveling. If it's still wet, we will get on and have a look at how getting our engine. Oh, yeah, look, it certainly is small bass, big racer. How you doing, by the way? Yeah, look, what I should have done is before scraping that, I should have chirped out with, or after it, now that I've finished doing the scraping, I believe the line is, I'll catch your shark for you. And I'll skin it for whatever the line is from Jaws, you know. Yeah. Fortunately, it doesn't go for very long. It's not a very pleasant sound, I'll grant you that. There we go. Now it's a bit rough on the fit there. Let's have a bit of a look-see as to what the issue could be. Let's just tidy that up. So if we put that to there. There's a small gap. And possibly being a little particular. Oh, look, hang on the other side of it. No. Let's see how it fits on the other side. We're going to try our fit on the other side. Yeah. Okay. This, good people, is where my new clamps will come into their own. Give me a moment. I will have to cushion them. But these will fix those, hold those. Actually, I'll get all four. So what I'll do, because he's got really sharp things, I'll put a bit of paper towel there, and boom, and they will hold. Or do I just want to go the rubber bands, which is rather more merciful? I'll go bands. Yes, I will. Just because of the paintwork aspect. Now, actually, on the having trotted out break on through to the other side, or just a paraphrasing thereof earlier. Don't know if you can recall the Krusty 25th anniversary special on The Simpsons, and they show a clip of him from the 70s, and he's singing "Break On Through to the Other Side," and eventually, after the chorus, one of the last choruses, he collapses on the ground, like, yeah! And as he looks at it, he goes, "Oh my God, what was I on?" Now, we shall. Yeah. It's that one. Okay. Alrighty. And come here, you bloody thing. I should do it that way, shouldn't I? Boom. Actually, if I hold that tightly, I might not It's binding very nicely on the far end of the wings. So in some ways, I would prefer to just go down the path of holding this tightly for maybe a minute, because I think that may be all it requires. Because then it won't have, the thing about putting rubber bands or anything is it creates tension down, say, there, but they might force that apart. And on the whole, yeah, I'm happy. We'll do it that way then. Now, oh yeah, Krusty. He's got so many gold. Apparently, Krusty the Clown as a character was originally intended to be Homer, but as a so an alter, something that Bart didn't know he did, and that ultimately brought them closer together. But that idea was canned, and I think, yeah, probably for the better, because Krusty as a character on his own is fantastic. So wrong. So wrong. And that is the joy of Krusty. He is so wrong. Now, and let's face it, that's what makes him right. The fact that he is so wrong. Oh yeah, yeah. I'm not so familiar. I've got 24 seasons of The Simpsons on my hard drive. And I haven't watched all 24. Actually, wait, I think I have. But I excuse me a moment, guys. Just want to, yeah, there we go. Be concerned about glue on my hand, making fingerprints, all that sort of a caper. Yeah. And I find the fact that it's now gone to, what is it, 35 seasons, you start thinking, guys, come on now. I do actually have on my hard drive, or in my Simpsons file, was the point, a actual viewer voted, apparently. I don't know which viewers they surveyed, but for the basically rating every episode. And the first series, ooh, but after series 2, it's gold. It starts getting to the good stuff. And after about season, there's a certain point where, but there's only one episode that scored a 10 rating. And that is the episode that starts with Homer going around demanding satisfaction and glove slapping people, until, of course, inevitably he gets confronted with someone who takes him up on his offer of a duel. I accept, sir. And then they go off to, rather than face the duel, they flee to their old farm, which they which they can't grow he can't grow anything on until he gets some plutonium and creates this tobacco. But that episode gets a 10. The thing I just also just love they got the excuse me, I should get my mind back on the job. There we are. Yes, we can get the next piece in. They got the B-52s to do A bit weird because they've got Homer going around glove slapping people, and the to the tune of Love Shack, the B-52's what is it? Glove slap, shut your big yap. Glove slap, I don't take crap. Yeah. You think, well done. Which one are we after? It's that one, I believe. Yes. Oh, hang on, I'll check that. Goggles steering, mate. The other golden bit about that episode is the whole line of, "You have offended me, sir, and I demand satisfaction." Yeah, nice. I accept, sir. Oh, why'd I have to slap somebody who says sir? Yeah. And he's got these when he rocks up to take part in the duel, that's the Southern gentleman. He rocks up in his I guess it would be a Winnebago. I don't know if you remember his stickers. There's National Duelist Society. I love dueling. Oh, and then honk if you demand satisfaction. And mate and I even toyed back with the idea of getting that one made because that's just gold. I'd love to have that on my car. Wonder how many honks I'd get. Wonder how many people would get the joke. We'll get the reference more to the point. Now, this is going to be a wee bit flexy, this one. But we'll see how we go. I didn't think it was quite out. And there it is. Oh, come on. Where is it not coming out? Get this stuff. Okay, there. I think. There we go. Now. All that yakka for one very small part. Never mind. Now, let me just Now I'm going to do this one is slightly different to normal. I'm going to put the glue on this, if possible, because it's a wee bit cunty. Now, we put here, we put, and we want this. Oh. I've never actually seen King of the Hill, to be honest. Amusingly, I've seen it referenced in both The Simpsons and Family Guy. That wasn't quite what was meant to happen there. That's probably actually okay. Now, give me a moment. If I come at this like this, come on. Oh, there we go. Almost. I can, and I will. Now, toothpick time. And you know, guys, to my not insignificant frustration, like so many of these things, do you know how much you're actually going to see? Give me a moment. I just need to have a good look in here. Well, only a couple of things I can realistically say. It is in there. I'm not quite sure I can even actually still see it. That's why. Come here. It's not in there. Thought it was. It lied to me. Now it's in there. And there we go. Alright. Let's get that off of there. Just want to make sure something. Yep. What that's achieved, it does show very slightly, but whatever. Give me a moment. Now, let's see if we can get the light. If you're not really, yeah, you can just see it there along the bottom. There we go. Now, I mean, the one thing I can say is it certainly looks like a cockpit. So it's coming along. Now give that a bit of time to dry. Now, next, other things. Engine. And, oh wow. When you just, oops, here we go. Well, that's Always a handy development, David. If you've got a light, you do want it to work after all. Now, next, we shall this is a little bit loose. There we go. Now, next, that's what I was doing next. Our engine. All right. And mostly that's come up quite well and dealt with being masked and all the rest reasonably soundly. I'll give you a zoom in. So there's a bit of tidy up work to be done on it, but not much. That's good. Then I'm trying to decide when to put whatchamacallit, the guns on. That's it. I guess first I'd need to identify guns to be able to, or get some guns set and ready to rock and roll for us. Because they would go across the top there. Now, what I'll do, just before we go any further with this, I'm going to get my goggles on. Where do I want to hit? A little bit of chassis black, brown, a little of that light blue that I have there. That should do it. It's mostly still come up pretty nicely. Cool. All right. All right. So, goggles off. We shall start. Now I've got to get those colours out. Oh my, what a disaster. Now, we'll get this out of the way. Be my compressor. We're after chassis black. Oops, sorry guys. Yep. No, not this one. Let's try the other one. Come here, you. Aha, chassis black. Next. What was the other color I wanted? The others were acrylics. So we should. Now, I'm after. I don't think I'll be in here, but I'll have a quick gander. Could be wrong, I am wrong. Boom. And that might even mean. Hello. Oh, definitely not that one. Oh, no. the paint. Then we can get this engine tidied up. And that'd be a good state of affairs. Oh, hello. Yeah, definitely. I have a curious front light in terms of out on the porch. It works. That's undeniable. As to when it comes on with reference to being the switch being flicked, you flick it a couple of times, and if it doesn't come on, you flick off the light for the living room, then try it, and it might come on. If not, flick it off, flick on the living room and that together, and then you'll get it. How the fuck that operates, you tell me. Anyway, I think no. I think it's this one I'm after. No, it's not quite right. But that's rude. There we go, yeah. Boom. There's all the colours we require. All right, now what we shall do next is what colour do I want to do first? Any of them will do. Let's just get the acrylics out of the way, get this out of the way because I'm using that for photo etch. Boom. Yeah, there's a the wind blows and it comes on. That's an intriguing development. Be a pain in the ass on a windy night. Or is that a sensor light you're talking about? That is actually not uncommon. Because they'll detect the movement of plants and stuff. But if it's just an ordinary fitted light with no sensor mechanism, yeah, that's a bit out there, man. Yes, well, dearie me. Yes, we can leave that discussion there, I guess. And then very soon our engines will look beautiful again. All right. Now, yes, indeed. All right. Let's check this angle. Now, clean brush. Delete. Next. Ding, 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 ding. Bow, bow, ding, 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 ding. Now, may as well, let's get this blue done. On the topic of blows and comes on, when I was just doing the little bit of Devo, ding, 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 I'll tell you free of charge, suddenly a very, well, a line of thought went through my mind with those lyrics, how you could adjust them, and I can't probably put them on public air. I'm sure you get the drill. And some as to what comes along and what the person in question must do with it, I'll leave to your imagination. Here are the Right, and on the front here, just a little bit there, and we're doing well. Now, and there, beautiful. All right, clean this brush. A couple of little touches of chassis black, and we're done on the engine. Then give me a moment. I very quickly wouldn't mind checking, just for my own edification. Now that goes to, oh, look at that. Beautiful. That's how it should happen. And by the looks of things, we're not too far. Yeah. I'd say we may not need to make any corrections. We've done good. I'll have a closer look at that. I'll probably actually, you know what, guys? Now could be the time to glue that on very shortly. I'll make sure that there's nothing else that needs to be done before these go into position. In fact, if anything, there's a small gap. Between, well, that might be why. What are you doing to me? There we go. Beautiful. You may well get that done before the end of the stream, I would suggest. Now let me just check that there is nothing else I need to do before I do that, because that's pretty much at that stage a done and dusted maneuver, if you follow me. Nope. Except for maybe put in 2 more pieces of photo etch. Well, they said to do that first, but I don't think it really matters. Well, you know what? Change of plans, guys. What we're doing is we're going to get this on. Yeah, so it's going to go in like that. Connecting point there. Right. Now. Okay. But it doesn't actually come into there so much. Alright. So it's very heavily centered on the wings as a bind, which is not so surprising, really. That's what we're adding. The wings. Alright. Let's do this. There. That should go in. Give that a bit of a file. Robin. Let me just have a look at something for a moment. Okay, yeah, that's not going to be. Right, there's a couple of little tidy ups on this area here we're going to need to do before attempting this. And then we're going to glue the wings on, and then I reckon I'm going to wind up the stream. Alright, let's try that now. Boom. Alright. It almost sat there without the glue, so that's always a good sign. Alright, let's do this. And then, as I said, I'm going to wind up the stream. This will enable us to have a really good look at what needs to be tidied up tomorrow and get all that done. And yeah. Alrighty, now. So we bind. Yeah. Yeah. Right, easier on here. Alrighty, give me a moment. Just put the lid on. Position. Hold. There we are. It's a bit runty as a, I don't know. Well, that didn't sound good. Nothing here. I mean, outside I heard a truck horn. It's never a good sound. Not around here anyway. There's a very major intersection, as I have mentioned before, I believe. I reckon. Yeah, I can leave that. No, I can't. Hold that down a bit more. Give me a moment. Something I want to check here. Oh, I see what I'm getting arcing about. Nothing. It's a bit of an optical illusion. That's naturally going to go there. Alright. Doesn't seem to be sitting quite flush in there is my issue here. But if I force it, of course, what happens is that you get that front end coming up. No, I think we're good. I think that's just glue burn that I'll have to fix with a bit of paint. Alright. Alright. Oh. Ooh. Oh, hey, cutie guy, how you doing? Oh. Is the kit enjoyable? Yeah. It's got some really good detail on it, and it does offer some options that I'll be pursuing later that you... Well, actually, it's the first time I've really had this option on 109. I'll quickly go into this for you, because I'll show you what the merits of this are. What it has... oh, by the way, yeah, Baton, pleased to be an inspiration at any given time. Okay, here we go. Now, whilst it has a... Let me just... Having put the wings on them, I'm got that little nervous Nelly stage, you know what I'm saying? A very nicely detailed... give me a moment. A very nicely detailed engine, which is not so uncommon. What it does allow with its cowling setup, because the cowling, give me a moment, bing, is in two parts, like so. Yep. Because it's in two halves, what I'm going to do is actually have it up like that, up like that, so as we can see the engine, have it set up for servicing. And in that regard, and also I'm going to put some guns in there. It doesn't come with guns, but I'm quietly confident amongst my immense quantity of spare parts from the numerous other builds I've done that I'll find something that suits the purpose. And I'll put a couple of guns in there. So as a kit, yeah, look, it's got its good bits, and because it's got its good bits, it is therefore enjoyable. It's a long way to answer your question, I know, but ultimately, there we have it. I hope you're doing well, by the way. By the way, Bassman, the Corsair F4U, yeah, it's a classic for sure. I actually have a Tamiya F4U that I will be planning to build with the markings of Pappy Boyington. But that's a whole other story for another time. Now, along the way, what else we did today was we got a bit of photo etch into the cockpit. You can, which is looking very much like a cockpit should. We did a little bit of the tidying up on the engine. Still a little bit to do. We got the wings together and the fuselage with the wings. Yeah. What else did we do? That was about it. And that is me done for today. Yeah, to me are good. I hit, excuse me while I get some shit out from under my feet. I hit the internet for mine. So yeah, that would be the recommendation. That's how I went about it. And boom, I think I might have even gone on eBay. eBay is a remarkably good source of kits if you're looking for them. So anyway, people, that is me done for today. Thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate it. Now, tomorrow, I'll be back. I'll be working on the 109A. Having gotten the wings and fuselage together, and it looks very much like we have indeed got our geometry correct for our paint job there. So we're not going to need too many more touch-ups. It's more a question of getting things up to the point where the other kits are. Here we go. Yeah, Amazon I have some difficulty with because of the whole Jeff Bezos thing. I believe he screws his workers, and but other times, what do? You know, let's face it, doesn't matter who you buy from, someone's going to get screwed. These are facts. Not that I'm cynical at all. But yeah, glad you've enjoyed the stream there, Bassman. Yeah, now, look, as I was saying, thank you for watching, guys. First-time viewers, do feel free to hit us with follow, like, or subscribe. My pleasure, David. Now, if you want to track me down other platforms, I'm Rob the Builder on Facebook and YouTube, and Robster the Builder on Instagram and Twitch. And what do we do, people? We follow, like, or subscribe. Bam. All right. And tomorrow I will be back, as I said. Tomorrow being Thursday. No, the P51 isn't done. I'm getting all my kits up to the same point, and then we're progressing. The P51 will be a little while yet, but it'll be a couple of days before I get back to that. Now, yes, I'll be back tomorrow on the 109A. And yeah, I guess at the end of the day, we all know the drill, people, that I'll be back tomorrow at a similar kit time and on the same kit channel. Hopefully I'll catch you good people then. See yous.